Mortal Kombat 1 is getting new updates. And that's right, I said updates. We have official confirmation that Mortal Kombat 1 is not dead. So it looks like everyone who said the game was over is looking goofy right now, including me because I said that. I also thought the game was done because NetherRealm dumped tons of files into the game and also made tweets that implied they were done with the game. But nope, there's multiple updates on the way according to NetherRealm themselves and also Ed Boon. And they're not basic updates. To quote the developers themselves, it's gonna be exciting. Which yeah, that gets me hyped, so let's begin. Because another day means more Mortal Kombat 1 news. I'm covering it all the time on this channel, so if you want to stay up to date, then make sure to subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss any future videos. And then after watching, if you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like down below, it helps the channel out a ton. Man, it feels good to say that again, so without further ado, let's begin. Starting off with the first post, and don't forget there's two, so stick around for both. But this first post comes from the official Mortal Kombat 1 Twitter account. We look forward to players showcasing their skills at the highest level at this year's EVO 25 tournament. Soon after, we will be releasing some exciting changes for Mortal Kombat 1. As always, we'd love to hear feedback from the community on potential changes. Stay tuned for more. Yeah, these new changes to Mortal Kombat 1 are gonna be exciting. Who else is hype in the comments? Let me know. Every comment down below helps the YouTube algorithm, so make sure you post your own comment. Real quick, a fast word from our sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Marvel Contest of Champions. As a huge comic lover, this game has nearly everybody, and guess what? It just came to PC. That's right, it's a huge milestone. Marvel Contest of Champions is a free-to-play mobile fighting game developed by Kabam, where players assemble a team of iconic Marvel superheroes and villains to engage in epic high-stakes battles. And my favorite part about this game is the selection. Look at how many characters are available in this game, and even more are coming. It's a non-stop stream of superheroes and supervillains, and I love it. But guess what? There's a brand new game mode, Squad Builder, giving you 52 maxed out 2-star champions for free and puts everybody on the same playing field. But hurry now because it ends on August 6th, so you better download soon if you want to play it. And if you log in for just 7 days, you get the Fantastic Four. We're talking Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, The Thing, and the Human Torch, all for free. You just have to log in for 7 days. But this offer ends on August 15th. So what are you waiting for? Download the game now on mobile or PC, whichever suits you best. Just click my link below in the pinned comment or video description and get started playing today. Marvel Contest of Champions has something for everybody, especially if you're a big comic book fan like me. Alright, and back to the video. For anyone wondering what's EVO, maybe you don't know, it's the biggest fighting game tournament in the world, held in Las Vegas every year. And unfortunately, I'm not going this year because there's not enough new games there to get me excited. Every big game has been out for like a year or two already. But regardless, EVO 2025 this year takes place from August 1st to August 3rd. But soon afterwards, we're getting the big update to Mortal Kombat 1, and in case you're wondering why NetherRealm is waiting until after the tournament, that's what every fighting game developer does, because otherwise players have to adapt last minute to the changes, and that's not really fair. They've spent months getting ready for this tournament, so making changes last minute is not really fair to the competitors. They need time to understand the characters, the matchups, all that stuff, so there's never any changes made before EVO. However, right after, it's fair game, and that's when NetherRealm is going to update Mortal Kombat 1, and I'm curious which updates are coming. Realistically, as a player, what can we expect from this update? I think the big characters are gonna get nerfed and the weaker characters are gonna get buffed. And I know some people watching hate nerfs, they think everybody should be buffed, but let's be real, Cyrax, Homelander, and T-1000 are still way too good. Not just at the tournament level, but also online. These characters get away with murder, which is funny because it's Mortal Kombat, where killing the opponent is the main goal. But jokes aside, these characters are dominating and there's not much variety when you play this game right now. Whether at tournaments or online, it's the same 3 or 5 characters, which is why those characters should be toned down a bit. Cyrax, Homelander, and T-1000 are just too annoying. And then for the bottom tiers, we have Tanya and Peacemaker. I think they deserve some buffs. Omni-Man needs a new move. And that's one more thing that could happen, because don't forget, NetherRealm said the changes will be exciting, which means it's very likely we're getting new moves for free, and I always love when that happens. Mortal Kombat 1 characters could likely get some new moves and also some big meta changes as well, like maybe cameos can be summoned more often, and maybe a new gameplay mechanic gets added, like push block. That would be incredible. NetherRealm, please give us push block. This game's offense is getting way too crazy. So having the option to push the opponent off of you, even if it costs a cameo summon or maybe some meter, that would be an incredible option. And once again, this new update is exciting, to quote the developers directly, so a new gameplay mechanic is possible. However, don't forget about the cameos. Maybe they're gonna get some new moves as well. I hope that Frost finally gets a real ambush ambush move, that would be nice. Right now, she only has the wall summon, and I think that's it. Which isn't really an attack if you want to get technical. She cannot hit the opponent with the wall, so yeah, Frost needs some new moves, mainly an ambush ability. And since we're talking about cameos, to be honest with you all, I think Tremor needs a nerf. I'm just gonna say it. But finally, there's one more big element that could be coming to Mortal Kombat 1, and that's new features, like online lobbies, for example. This game's almost 2 years old, and still doesn't have an online lobby. It has King of the Hill and private lobbies like that, but no open source public lobbies. That needs to be a thing. So hopefully this new update could add that as well. It might not be about the characters or about new moves, it might be about new features and game modes that could also come to Mortal Kombat 1. Next up, I want to talk about the second post that actually came from Ed Boon himself, the creator of Mortal Kombat. Shortly after the first post by the official Mortal Kombat 1 account on Twitter, your boy Super actually made a video reacting to the post. And in case you don't know who Super is, you probably do because he's the biggest Mortal Kombat 1 YouTuber in terms of subscribers. So chances are you know about him, but in case you don't, now you're caught up to speed. He's a YouTuber. Super made a video about the recent post, and then Ed Boon himself replied to that post on Twitter saying there's more updates coming after the new one. Real quick, I'm gonna pull up the post and read it verbatim so there's no mistranslation. As you can see, first Super posted about his recent video, and below that Ed Boon says, next patch being final is highly unlikely. That's right everyone, there you have it. Confirmation straight from the horse's mouth. Mortal Kombat 1 is getting multiple updates after EVO, which means the game's not dead. It's still going to be getting support and changes and possibly new moves long after EVO is over, which is super cool. And keep in mind, they're asking players what changes they want. When developers are still asking you about changes, that means they're gonna listen to feedback and then actually implement those changes months later. So yeah, Mortal Kombat 1 is gonna be getting support for a good while longer, which was not on my bingo card. I'll be honest, I did not see this coming. I thought Mortal Kombat 1 was done when the new Invasion season started. I really did, because as mentioned earlier at the very start of this video, NetherRealm dumped a bunch of stuff into the game, a ton of assets, which we know about because data mining is a thing. Some players can dig into the data and see all the new stuff that was added to the game, and it was a ton. Much bigger than any past update, which typically happens when a game is winding down. They add everything to the pot. And then on top of that, Mortal Kombat 1 themselves on Twitter said, we're not adding anything else to the game, we're done, or something close to that. Let me go ahead and pull it up verbatim, because I don't want to misquote anybody on this video. Alright, here we go. We are hearing players' requests for continued game support of Mortal Kombat 1, and while we will continue to support Mortal Kombat 1 through balance adjustments and fixes, there will not be additional DLC characters or story chapters released from this point on. We understand this will be disappointing for fans, but our team at NetherRealm needs to shift focus to the next project in order to make it as great as we possibly can. Okay, so they never actually said support for the game was done, but usually when game developers make official posts like this, it means the game is close to being done at least. And also, these posts came before the most recent update to Mortal Kombat 1, so myself and many others assumed that was the final update to Mortal Kombat 1, but turns out we were wrong. And who knows what the future could hold for this game. Comment down below what you want added to Mortal Kombat 1 the most. Do you want characters to get buffed and nerfed? Do you want new moves and abilities? Or do you want new game modes like public lobbies and other features added to the game? Because keep in mind, all of this is possible. Anything could happen to Mortal Kombat 1 in the near future because the developers themselves said it's going to be exciting updates for the game, which means possibilities are almost endless. The one thing I don't think Mortal Kombat 1 is getting any more of is new costumes. I don't think that's on the table unless NetherRealm was already working on them and finally finished up recently, but I would say it's very unlikely for Mortal Kombat 1 to get any more costumes from this point on, which honestly is a shame because I think only 5 or less cameo characters have more than one costume, which feels super unfair. Specific characters like Frost, Serena, and Sonya Blade, and Jax have multiple costumes, but most cameo characters are sitting on the roster with their default look and no other drip, which is unfortunate. And yeah, I don't think any more costumes are coming, which is sad. However, I've been wrong before. In fact, I was wrong before today's video. I thought that Mortal Kombat 1 was done, but no, we're still getting more content. So yeah, anything could happen. And honestly, to be completely clear with everyone watching, crystal clear in fact, the main thing I want is for the bottom tier characters to get buffed. So for example, Tanya needs something interesting. I've been playing her recently, and she has some creative freedom with what you can do. However, realistically, she can't stand toe-to-toe with most other characters in the game, especially the mid tiers or top tiers, mainly because Tanya is an honest character, ironically enough. She has fun stuff you can do, but none of it's gonna catch the opponent off guard. So I think NetherRealm either needs to give her a new move move, or possibly make some of her existing moves an overhead maybe? Or they could buff a cameo instead that synergizes super well with Tanya. That would also work. I think Tanya and Peacemaker deserve some buffs, and also certain characters like Omni-Man really do deserve a new move. I feel like as a guest character, Omni-Man is the least interesting. He plays super straightforward and honestly a little boring, which is unfortunate because when he first dropped, he was hype. The animations were fun, people were enjoying him, but as the game's gone on, I feel like Omni-Man is one of the more bland characters, which absolutely should change going forward. So if anyone does get some new moves, I hope that it's Omni-Man. But yeah, I think that's about it for today's video, everyone. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like down below. It helps the channel out a ton. And then, if you're new to the channel, finish that combo by subscribing and ringing that bell so you never miss any future videos. No matter what happens, I'm just so happy that Mortal Kombat 1 is getting new updates, and apparently it's gonna be exciting, because I'm gonna be here to cover it in a video. So make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.